We spent a lot of time here talking about what the courts are and how they work, and maybe you're starting to think the court system is as fascinating and important as we think it is. But if it feels like all this stuff happens in some big marble building somewhere far away, that you have about as much power to affect as how fast your fingernails grow, well, good news. You have more power in the court system than you think. We're going to talk about a few different ways you can make change in the courts, going in order from easiest to hardest. The first thing you can do is vote. Right, I know that you can't vote for federal judges, but you can definitely vote for the president who nominates them and the senators that confirm them. And in most states, you can also vote for the judges in your state court system. Remember, when a seat in the federal courts needs to be filled, senators usually look to the judges on the state courts to decide who to nominate. So that person whose name you maybe don't remember because you skipped that part on your ballot or because you didn't even know that judges were going to be on there, that person could be a federal judge of tomorrow. If you're watching this video, you're probably going to vote anyway, is my guess. At least I hope you are. And whether it's directly or indirectly, the people who represent us get their jobs because we put them there. So I encourage you to take a little bit of time to look up your sample ballot, figure out who's running for judge seats in your district, maybe check out their websites and get to know what they're about, and then head to the polls prepared. Also, if you aren't voting already and you're gonna be 18 or older by the next election, now's a great time to start. So if you wanna make a difference in the courts, register to vote and vote in every election. The next thing you can do is keep an eye on what's going on with nominations to the court. I'm gonna link to a resource in the description. It's called judicialnominations.org, and it's a website where you can look up which seats are vacant in your district and who is being nominated for them. You can even read the questionnaire that the nominee gives the Senate and the president that lists all of their experience, their speeches, and their writings and summaries of the cases they've decided. Learning who these nominees are is a great first step to getting involved in the judicial nomination process. The second step, of course, is talking about it. If you look up a nominee from your state and think, this person doesn't seem like someone I want making decisions that affect me for a whole lifetime appointment, tell your senators. Remember, the Senate has to consent to all the president's nominations, and if they or the people they represent think the nominee isn't qualified, they can vote no. If you're not totally sure what you think of the nominee, you're allowed to also ask questions. You can ask how your senator plans to vote, why they think the nominee is or isn't qualified. You can ask about the nominee's ABA rating or their judicial philosophy. You could even ask about the nominee's Hogwarts house if you wanted to. Not saying you're gonna get an answer for that, but questions and conversation are part of a healthy democracy. You might be surprised to find out just how much your senators want to hear from you. Just maybe leave out some of your sorting hat fan theories. There are a bunch of different ways that you can contact your senators, and there's some links in the description to help you do it. But you can call them, email, write a letter, show up at a town hall, or even call their office and ask to set up a meeting face to face. Another thing you can try if you want to make a difference is talk about the courts to your family and friends. It can be as simple as telling them what you've learned from these videos or following cases in the courts and asking your family what they think about them. The more people we have paying attention to the courts, the better. So if your group chat is talking about student protests, for example, let them know that it was the Supreme Court that made sure schools couldn't punish students for speaking out in a 1969 case called Tinker v. Des Moines. Make sure they know that the courts have the power to interpret laws in ways that help people, and that you want them to be a part of shaping how the law works in real life with you. It's a project that you can work on together. Okay, last thing here, and this is a big one, so take a second to picture some bald eagles or whatever makes you feel most invested in your civic duty. If you're a US citizen and you're old enough, you can run for office. We talk a lot in metaphors about making your voice heard, about how your voice matters, but what if it was actually your voice? Like your actual physical talky bits. You're probably not gonna run for a state judicial seat or for US Senate right away, but you could make a lot of impact on the way there by running for local office. The people who are going to be senators in 10 or 20 years advising on and consenting to federal judge nominations, they're probably running for offices like city council or state representative right now. So if you've ever thought about running, maybe it's time to go for it. No matter where you're at and learning about our federal court system, I hope you understand by now that even if you ignore the courts, they don't ignore you. The federal court system matters to me, to you, and to everyone around us, and you have the power to do something about it. And that's a really cool thing. When you pay attention, when you speak up, you're helping make sure our laws reflect our values, and you're helping make our communities and our country a better, fairer place. So I hope you found at least one way that you want to get involved. Thanks for watching.